Today we're going to be showing you how to change the serpentine belt on a 2007 Chevy Cobalt with a 2.2 liter four-cylinder. Multiple years will have this same configuration. First thing you want to do is locate the belt tensioner. It's down underneath here, and hard to tell with the camera, but there is not enough space in between the tensioner and the side of the frame here, the structure of the car, to get a normal ratchet or breakover bar in there. So you actually need the serpentine belt tool in this case, which I'll show you. Try to show you real quick. So this is just a standard 3/8 drive ratchet, and it doesn't fit in between the serpentine belt tensioner bracket and the edge of the car. So that's why we need the special tool. It's thinner. One way to get to it is you can remove the airbox assembly and the tube, unplug mass airflow, get all that out of the way and try to get to it from the top. Or there's also a little shield, which I've already removed. It's over here. But lift up the car or get down right here in this space and you can get back into it from this angle. So here is the shield that you take off for access. There are 4 push clips and 3 7mm screws. So the screws go into these metal clips, 1, 2, 3, and the push clips go into these holes, 1, 2, 3. The 4th one is still remaining in there because it was kind of messed up. But I'll show you where the push clips go. The one that's remaining goes clear up here. The other 2 at the bottom go here, here, and then the final one is up here on the radiator support bracket. And the screws go here, here, and here. And I'll reinstall that so you can see where they go. Something else to note on the belt for your car is right here's the air conditioning compressor and the weight on the front of it. If it's triangle shaped, you'll see when you go to order the belt, they will list with a triangle counterweight and without. So this one does have the triangle counterweight, specific to which belt you order. The tensioner, you can see, is right there, and that's how we'll be accessing it. If I didn't have a lift, I would probably be doing this from the top. Originally, I was going to show you how to use the special tool. It looks like down here, the way that this hole in the tensioner is oriented with the particular tool that I rented from AutoZone, the angle is not going to work. I would actually be at this angle right here, which doesn't give me enough room, or I would be way over here and the control arm's in the way, and I am not removing all of that. So I'm just going to show you how to do this without a special tool. You can get a good sized pry bar here and push up on the tensioner manually, just like that, and then pull the belt off. Sorry for the bad camera angle there. Phone kind of slipped, but here it is, pushing up with the pry bar. Then you can remove this belt manually. You don't need a special tool. You don't need a ratchet or anything. You just push up on the tensioner with a pry bar and you can get that belt out. I'd probably suggest putting it around the alternator first. Then getting your pry bar in position over the top of the belt, just like this. Push up on that tensioner. Get it underneath the tensioner and around the crank pulley next, and then last, loop it around the AC compressor on this side. So you can see we went up around the alternator, and then pushed up on this tensioner and got the belt slid in between the tensioner and the crank pulley. It's actually so close that it touches. When the tensioner is not got the belt on completely, it touches the crank pulley. So it will hold it still there. You wrap it around the bottom side here, and you put all the slack towards the AC compressor right there. And so now when you push up on the tensioner, you just need to loop this around the bottom of the AC compressor and you'll be done. That's what it looks like when you're finished. So I just pushed up, slid the belt around the AC compressor. It's still on the alternator up top, under the tensioner pulley and around the crank. Make sure everything is down in the grooves on the pulley where it should be. Now we'll return that bracket or the shield to cover this up. On the shield, you kind of notice some offset in this. It fits up and around some structure and to hold it in place before you put the screws in. So I don't know that I'll be able to do this with one hand. There's a look at how it starts, and now we're gonna have to go on up. As you're going up with that, you need to pull out on this piece here so you can get behind it. This plastic shield goes behind that outer cover, and it goes underneath your brake line there. You can see this little indentation right here. That's where your brake line goes. So then you'll see your screw holes line up with those clips right there. That's the 3 screws, and then your push clips. There's 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is up behind your brake line here. We'll do it last. We'll just start with a couple push clips to get it held in place. These are the style where you put the body in first and then insert the head, and that locks it in place. Here's one. 2, 3, and then 4 is up here in the left. Probably can't do that one with the camera in my hand. Next we'll do the 3 screws. Get those started and then grab a ratchet to tighten them down. Sometimes these clips are rusty and can break. I wouldn't torque them down at all. I would just barely snug them up. The plastic clips hold it in place. The last screw works better without the extension. Tire's in the way. So just to recap, if you want to use the special tool, you can come from the top. But if you don't, you can just push up with a pry bar from the bottom in order to remove that belt and replace it. Again, this is about a 2004 to 2010 Chevy Cobalt with a 2.2. Thanks for watching today. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel.